All right, guys, looks like we are live. So, what I did last time was I vacuum formed these eyelids here. Okay, actually, let me switch the angles here so you guys can see. Last time I vacuum formed these eyelids, what I just did overnight was I spray painted the inside just in case they can kind of see past the eye. I wanted that to be black. I didn't bother painting this side because it's going to be covered with fabric anyway, okay? And it'll actually probably adhere better to the plastic with a light sanding rather than the paint. So, that being said, we're going to move on to the next part of this, which is, so once these are on the eyes here, so let me just do a snug fit here. Once these are on here and there's the bar going through them, what we're going to need to do is have some sort of little lever that these are individually attached to. Now, there's a lot of ways to do that, but I wanted to pick something that would be pretty strong, again, and that's part of the reason why I went with these vacuum-formed shells rather than the ping pong ball ones. These are just a little bit stronger and would be easier to attach something to. If I put a screw through this or something, it would pull out pretty easily through this plastic. It'd be much stronger on this. Now, that being said, I'm actually not going to screw anything to these. I'm going to use a plastic weld, okay? Rather than using any sort of adhesive, like an epoxy or something like that, which would probably do well, I wanted to do a welding bond, which I'll show you how that's done. First, I need to make some sort of a little peg for this. And I already have done that, just to save time, but I'm going to show you the process that I did for it anyway, and then we'll move right on to it. So anyway, what I did was, I took some of the extra plastic that's cut off from the same plastic that this is. It's important to use the same type of plastic. And I want to make a little lever that I'm going to weld onto the edge. So what I did was this. Now, actually, before I do that, let me show you. It would be better just to have like an actual square bar of the same material, but I don't have that. So I'm going to use what I have, so I have to build this up in layers, okay? So what I'm going to do is just chop off some pieces here. Actually, you know what? Let me sand it first. That'll make my sanding job much easier than sanding these individual pieces. Yeah, you always want to sand it before you weld it. I believe this is styrene as well. Now, let me just get these little pieces that I shouldn't have cut off before doing it. See what a pain it is to do now? Okay, just a little bit more there. So then after this is cut up like that, let me show you. I'm going to do 4 of these and 2 long ones. Actually, let me get another little piece here. That'll do. Just gotta sand this extra piece I just found. Okay. There we are. So now I have some pieces here. So what I'm going to do is stack these two long ones in the middle. These are going to actually be the arm of it. So it's going to kind of be like this, and then it'll have a pivot point, okay? But just to get a better bond to the plastic, I'm going to build up the bottom edge a little more kind of like this. So it has a little bit more surface area to bite onto, okay? But now what I'm going to do is weld all these pieces together in that order. Now what I'm going to use is this acrylic weld. There's the bottle if you want to freeze frame and grab that. The brand is called Scigrip, S-C-I-G-R-I-P. Okay. And it says acrylics, but it seems to work with this, which is styrene. So you do not want to get this on your skin, and you do not want to breathe it in. So you want to use a respirator and or outside do this, or have a ventilation. I'm going to turn on my vent in a moment. And you really don't want to get this on your skin. It absorbs in the skin very quickly, and apparently goes like straight to your liver. So avoid that. Hey Google, turn on shop vent.
Okay, turning on the shop vent.
And so what you're going to do is this. Hopefully you can still kind of hear me. You're going to use this. It's very liquidy, clear, very viscous, and I'm practically out of it. So I'm just going to take this little applicator here and just pour some right on there like that. Okay. Then I come over, put this on. Now when I put this on, I also, I want to kind of slide it around a little bit first, because what this does is it actually is like some sort of chemical reaction with the plastic and makes it bond to itself. So we have that. Let me put a little more on here, and I'll add this piece on, and I'll add this piece on. Okay, now let me come on over here, put this piece on, put this piece on, and just like that. Now this has got to sit for a little bit, and also it's best to have it sit with pressure on it. You can use a clamp. Actually, I'm going to try a clamp quick. Though, you know what? I haven't actually had success with clamps too much, because the way you have to twist this part of it, it can spin those pieces when you don't want it to. But this one's might work. Let me try. If I try to do this in a way that won't spin that. There we go. Still wants to spin it, see? It's kind of it's all shifting on me. So, but this is for demonstration purposes anyway. I've got pressure on there and it should still work. But like I said before, I actually previously did one so I could get through this video a bit quicker for you guys. So the one that I did is actually sitting right over here. Rather than using a vice grip, I just put some weight on it, which happened to be my drill. And that gave it some decent pressure to kind of bond it all together. Okay. So now what I did is I put an 1/8 inch hole in the top of this thing. Like that. And I'm just going to kind of sketch out how I want it to look. Kind of like that. So let me get shaving this down. these gloves off for a moment. But I will need them again soon. Hey Google, turn off shop vent.
Okay, turning the shop vent off.
So I'd actually normally do that rough cut on a bandsaw and then do more of the smoothing like I just did on this. But I didn't want to leave you guys, so I just did that. Okay, so now we have something that looks like this, but if you look at it from the side, that's all still jagged. So I want to smooth that down too. So it's still a little rough, but you can kind of see that I'm just kind of bending those slopes down, okay? But now, like I told you, I actually already did this. So I just want to show you the process for that. So what I'm going to actually do now is show you that I have them right here. Here are the two pieces that I made. Okay? That same method, ready to be attached to this. So now, just to make sure that it's all lined up straight, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach it together. Just let me make sure I have my, there it is. This rod here. Actually, let me give this a light full sand as well, just to make sure that let me think why. I think it'll help the glue for the fabric once it comes to that point. And it'll be easier to do now before I put that rod on. Okay. So now we get these gloves back on. Okay. Whoops. Hold on. This way. Okay, that's just to make sure that these are perpendicular. And to make sure that these are as well, I'm also going to put a bar through these. So that way it's all even Steven. And actually, even though I don't want to drip on my table, I'd rather drip on my table than have this thing uneven. So let me just do this. I'm lining up these bars with these marks on the table to make sure that they are even. So then I'll do the same. Actually, are these a different length? Oh my gosh. One is quite a bit taller than the other. I must have misdrilled the hole, so you can see this one's a little longer on this side. How about that? So that's an important thing to notice first. So let me grind that down a little bit. Okay, so now we should be ready to attach these. Hey Google, turn on shop vent.
Sure, turning on the shop vent.
Alright, and I'm going to hold this for an awkwardly long period of time. The joy. Okay. Well, anyway, guys. Hey Google, turn off shop vent.
Okay, turning the shop vent off.
That is pretty much it for this part. I'm just going to let this sit a bit longer so they can cure longer. But they are pretty snug. Snug as a bug. You can see that that looks just like that. Like these little cups. Okay. That's it. And I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you learned something in here, whether it's a new material or something like that. Hope you're enjoying these little live streams. Next, I'll be covering these with fabric. And then, should I insert the eyes yet? I should probably build more of the ear mechanism next. The housing for the ear mechanism. But, and after the eye mechanisms and ear mechanisms are done, I'm going to do a little mouth mech. So this is going to be pretty much completely a mechanized head. So anyways, guys, stay tuned, and I will catch you in the future.